big hello and a very warm welcome to Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. The only advertising and marketing show that gives you a real peek behind the scenes. Let's get the show on the road, but first take a look at what's going to keep you engrossed and entertained for the next 30 minutes. On the show, will Setmax make a hefty profit or just about break even with IPL? Is it in a position to recover 8,700 crores? Despite being under attack from national and organized players, Vijay Sales, a dominant consumer retail chain in Maharashtra, has managed to keep competition at bay and keep its brand flying high. And finally, Coca-Cola is making a big song and dance about its bid to strike a chord with teenage customers with Coke Studio that makes its debut in India next month. India is a one-sport nation and cricket has a never-ending success rate. And that's precisely the reason broadcasters have spent billions of rupees on acquiring cricket properties. But once you do the math, you realize that this is not always a winning proposition. Sarah Kapoor finds out whether the Indian Premier League will actually turn out to be the Indian Paisa League for Setmax. Take a look.
When you think of the greatest moments you have witnessed on Indian television, chances are these feature in your top 10. Yuvraj Singh's 6 sixes of Stuart Broad during the T20 World Cup, or Irfan Pathan's hat-trick in the first over of the Karachi Test against Pakistan. Or Sachin Tendulkar's glorious 200 runs in an ODI. The examples are never-ending. And it's this insatiable thirst for victory, this jingoistic euphoria that makes broadcasters dole out massive sums of money to get their hands on anything cricket.
As long as there is no other sport that can challenge cricket, I don't think that cricket will reach a saturation point from the point of view of tapering down of rates.
And despite being a pure-play sports broadcaster, Setmax went all out to grab the IPL broadcasting rights for a whopping 8,700 crores. The broadcaster, who is not new to these long-term acquisitions, believes that this cricket carnival called IPL would ensure their cash registers keep ringing all the way.
Basically, I think in the first 4 years, Setmax would have actually made a profit over the overall 4-year period. But I think going forward in the next 6 years, they are going to be significantly profitable.
And for Setmax, the focus on cricket was solely for one purpose: profit.
For us, very clearly, when we bought this property or any property which we buy, it has to be profitable for us.
And while the IPL, the golden child of Indian cricket, had a dream run for 3 years, IPL 4 sadly ended that winning formula.
Well, as per all estimations, I think IPL ratings have dropped by around 20-25%, and also that weekends have actually dropped more dramatically than weekdays. So yes, it is a slight concern for all advertisers who've been on the tournament, and I'm sure it is also a big concern for Max, the channel that's telecasting it. Next year, I mean, IPL has been sold at cost escalation year on year. I think the challenge will be for at what rates IPL will sell next year.
What are the changes that IPL 4 made? Did it come up with a better product? Not really. Same product. Did it come up with a more lethargic format? Yes. It's a longer format. It's taking a toll on everybody, you know. Even if the game is good, we're just so bored now and just want the climax to hit us in the face sooner than later. Did it plan its gap into the World Cup? I mean, it was too much to anticipate and hope that we lose the World Cup. But you know what? We won the World Cup. So we got the highest glory in the field of sport, which is cricket, you know, single sport that we love and cherish, and we couldn't even enjoy that because IPL came and hit us in the face.
Quite a few of the playing nations have started questioning the longevity of IPL, the 50 days. And the various cricketing boards will be in talks to understand the future, the calendar for the next 3-4 years time, how IPL fits in, is there a fatigue for players, is there too much of cricket at this point of time. And I'm sure there will be some kind of a rationalization that will happen. As we speak right now, it should definitely be a worry for the broadcaster.
An acquisition cost of 8,700 crores spread over 10 years. And the first 4 editions of IPL have raked in revenues of 2,900. Has Setmax, the official broadcaster of IPL, been wise or foolhardy? Does the math add up?
All these acquisitions are based on optimism, I mean, it's based on optimism that advertisers will continue to spend, advertisers will grow, economy will grow. So optimism sometimes can be a risk, as we've seen it about 2-3 years back when the downturn happened. And also I think some of these tournaments are also very risky, I mean the previous World Cup India got knocked out in the qualifiers, and this year, for example, it actually reached the finals and won it. So I think there's a lot of risk mitigation or risk estimation that needs to also happen.
If it keeps playing the way it is, and if the world cricketing economy is going to continue to be dominated by India, there is a good chance that they'll make that money. Whether they'll make that money only through Setmax, or they'll make that money by going through the subscription process, DTH, or bundling their other products, within the group, I don't know which way Setmax will take.
That shot fine. That's unlucky.
With IPL 4 reporting a dip of more than 20% of TV ratings, Setmax will not be able to cash in on the past performance of IPL in terms of premium. And the IPL 5's performance will be the new benchmark for advertisers. Take a look at IPL's revenue projections for the next 6 years. IPL 5 will in all probability take a hit. While the effective rate may not go up, media buyers are of the opinion that Setmax will maintain IPL 4's rates. Also, there is a high chance of the number of matches coming down in the 5th edition, bringing down the overall yield. But not considering that situation for now, IPL 5's revenues are pegged at approximately 850 crores. And year 6 on, taking a 5% growth in revenues year on year, it looks like the broadcaster will just about break even, but will definitely not end up making a sizable profit. But the broadcaster doesn't seem to be too worried. While the dip in TRPs can't be questioned, Setmax believes the drop was due to the saturation of cricket and the reshuffle of the team. The broadcaster is certain that next year will be a better and brighter picture.
Despite the fact that this year has been, because of the World Cup, and there's been an overload of cricket last 4.5 months, and intensive cricket, despite that, people have been tuning in. So I don't think that's an area of concern for us as far as IPL viewership is concerned. That will continue to go. Like I said, it's just 4 seasons old, and it's still got a long way to go before it reaches a mature stage. When you compare it to the format on what is built on, like a EPL format or an NBA format. So we've still got a long way to go.
The 5th edition of IPL is crucial for Setmax's profitability, and IPL 5 will take a definite hit after lackluster performance this year. And while the excuse of cricket fatigue, new teams and more matches is valid for the dampener this year, the big question is whether IPL 5 will be able to bounce back and regain control of this television space and, of course, Setmax's cash registers.
Time for a short free there, but stay with us, as up next we bring you the story of a small regional consumer durables chain and how it managed to ward off national players and remain relevant to consumers.